So good morning again. So my name is Venkatesh. I would be handling your geography and environment and disaster management as part of your general studies. And I think you were informed this is the session of geography optional introduction. Were you informed? Right. Good. So geography optional orientation. Right. So what we will do in this session is, for a while I will divide this session into few parts where I will be definitely discussing about what is the syllabus of geography optional, what is the content and all, how does it helps in you and all those kind of things. That is one aspect, the syllabus aspect. Second aspect, how it is good over other subjects or how it is negative and all those kind of things, just to give an overview. And third aspect will be about should you choose this. Okay, it's not like just because I am a teacher you will not be choosing, that's for sure, right. So we will give you an overview about how this optional chosen, and many of you, I think one of the basic reason why this is an important thing is, I think as part of childhood you might have all read this poem, no, The Road Not Taken. Okay, so the road not taken. So you are not informed or you are not aware about certain things, and you have taken that road, and as you go at a certain point of time there is no option to look back. So life always provides opportunities, no doubt, but it doesn't mean that we go in a wrong way. I think there is a proverb as well. Okay, if you run faster and you are not aware, you will achieve the failure very quickly. That's what there is something like a proverb of the essence is that way, that if you are running faster and you are not aware about your destination, you will land at a certain place which you are not supposed to. Right? So in that way, choosing an optional, I think, okay, don't have that scary faces. I'm not making you anybody to choose an optional, just we'll have an introduction about how to get an optional, how we have to choose and all, and then we'll see how we progress. Okay, so this subject, of course, there is one aspect where I will discuss about geography optional syllabus and all. There is also another aspect of what should be the criteria of you choosing an optional. I will give you a fair assessment, and based on that you can always have an opinion later on, right. And in the last few minutes definitely I will have any doubts from you and all those kind of things, so that we can have a better interactive session, and by the end of the session I hope you all have understood the idea about what is geography optional, or am I good at choosing an optional, or can I choose this optional or not, or if not, how to choose an optional. All these three questions you will get your answers done. I think that should be the structure, or do you want me to discuss anything beyond it? Right. So this is what my initial discussion would be, and then you can always tell me about the remaining aspects. Then in the process I will also tell you about the general approach for preparation of this exam. Even as part of general studies I will have this explanation, because that is very, very important. Right. Then first thing, when are you planning to attempt this exam, give this exam, or how many years are you getting ready to handle this beast? You are entering a battlefield, you should know your enemy, no? Right. Technically UPSC is not an enemy, but you have to understand that how is the battlefield, what terrain you are having, all these kind of things. So this your approach, how many years do you think it will take for you to complete this exam, or rather to read this exam before attempting this exam? Attempting is a better word. Let's not forget about how do you do in the exam, the process. Yeah, 2 years. 2 years is a fair thing. 1.5 years to 2 years is what I expect a person will have. The strong foundations you have now, the next task will be very, very easy. We will have the levels of preparation as well. I will give you those kind of things, and also how to prepare, what basics things you have to do, even that also would be explaining. So let's start with geography optional, the syllabus aspect. Yes, just like any other optional, it has two papers, paper 1 and then paper 2, 1 and 2. Then how many marks you have? 500 marks total, 250 marks each. Yes, see, normally I think you might have, you are aware by now, GS constitutes about 1000 marks in mains, 250 into 4. How much time does it take to prepare? I think it takes roughly around 10 months to 1 year to prepare for the entire general studies, to complete every aspect of the syllabus and all. It roughly takes 10 months to 1 year. Usually in the past, any general studies, the 4 pillars we used to say: geography, geography, history, economy, polity. Very simple. The ones which we ignore in our 10th class and your childhood, that will be the core of UPSC. Very simple way of introduction. But majority of Indians, right? So only in few areas where social is given due importance, right? And in Andhra Pradesh, there are technically only 2 kind of work to have to be done. There are only doctors and there are only engineers in a general thing, right? So in that way, this is a very, very scathing, and that is the foundation of all the coaching institutes, I can say so. Had geography or had social been a very good subject, you would not have that big an industry of UPSC coaching. You will always have, because the role of a coaching institution or a role of a faculty here is like a catalyst. Ignite the spirit, help you to clear this exam very quickly. That is the only thing which a faculty or an institution can do, right? Okay. So in that way, just coming back to the things, just like how we are supposed to give around almost around 1 year for the entire for the, for GS, for UPSC optional also we need at least around 5.5 to 6 months, around 5 to 6 months. Okay. So if this is paper 1 and paper 2, and what do you mean by geography? Just let's, before we go into the syllabus, what do you mean by geography? What do you know? Yes, any one of you? What do you mean by geography?
Study of Earth.
Study of Earth. Okay. Then, what do you study there? All the wars happened on the Earth only, no? So can I say history is a branch of geography then? Definitely not. Right? So what do you study? There is a specific thing. Right? What do you commonly associate with geography? Geography means what? Imagine a 10th class person is asking, or a kid is asking, a school kid is asking you, what is geography? What will you say? Yeah, somebody said boundaries. Yes.
Different territories and territorial waters.
Territorial waters and all that. So, relatedly with the concept of a boundary itself, your wording. Then, atmosphere, weather, physical features. So, climatology. Then, what is that?
Study of rocks.
Study of rocks.
Different types of land.
Right. So, majorly when I say geography, look at the words which are coming up within your group. It's not just one person's knowledge. It's a combination of many persons. I hope you are all, or many of you are interactive and wanted to discuss. Okay. So, in that way, if you see it, what are the words I'm coming up? Somebody said climates, somebody said winds, somebody said about temperature, somebody said about landforms, rocks. So, majorly when you talk about geography, many of you will associate geography means it's about land, it's about climate and all. So, it is for a common person or as a common logic, our minds are tuned that geography means geomorphology and climatology. It is not wrong, it is part of it. Definitely that is part of the geography, no doubt. And we will see how it is different from the syllabus and how it is a vast subject. Right. So, let us see. Paper 1, 250 marks. You will have here section A. So section A, you have one, you have geomorphology, you have climatology, you have oceanography, then you have so you have biogeography and then environmental geography. So oceanography, biogeography, environmental geography. These are the 5 aspects. Can I say this is part of physical geography? Physical geography, this is the physical geography constituting almost 125 marks. Of course, you will have a choice in the exam, that will once again vary. So this is the general things. So the technical words you said geomorphology, climatology, these are the syllabus. So geomorphology, geography means what? Geo means earth, graphy means description or study. So geography means study of earth. What do you study? So for the ancient people, when you said geography, geography was meant by something like study of earth in relation to solar system, study of earth in relation to the sun. Remember your childhood, you might have heard this word Copernicus theory, heliocentric theory. You might have heard this, whether earth is the center of the solar system or whether sun is the center of the solar system. At least long ago, some kind of waves are transferring in your brain now, right? So in that way, you can say that this is what geography was, or this is what the thought process was. So we are trying to understand what is the size of the earth, what is the shape of the earth, how the sun and the earth are interrelated, the revolution and the rotation concepts, the concept of solstices, all these kind of things. That was regarded as geography, not these things. That is simply what I said was the evolution of geography, in the sense of the first aspect was something like geography in relation to the solar system. Then slowly, once you have understood that, geographers started observing what is there on the world. If you go across the world, you will understand mountains, plateaus, plains. Now see, imagine we are all aliens. We are having our ship and we are coming to the earth. If you go by Hollywood movies, the first place where aliens attack is always USA. Okay, definitely they don't have a choice in that way. You can go for any other place. So if you are coming, the first thing, if you see the earth, what do you see from outside the space? It is called a blue planet. Majority 70% is water, blue. Then if you zoom in a continent, what do you find? As you zoom in, you will find a mountain, you will find a plateau, you will find a plain. Then if you zoom in mountains, you might find gorges, canyons, or certain flatlands where you have to land as a ship. That's what you see. That study is what was regarded as the physical geography, and this specific study of land is geomorphology. So geo means earth, morpho means form, logy means study of form of the land. Then as soon as you land, somebody might have landed in Himalayas, somebody might have landed in the desert of Sahara, somebody might have landed as part of Australia, somebody had landed in different places. Different areas, you have different climate of elements of weather and climate. The temperature would be varying, the winds would be varying, the rainfall would be varying. How this variation is there, the elements of weather and climate is climatology. Fair enough? This is the physical geography. Then oceanography, 70% of the world is oceans. Definitely we have to understand about it. Without that, the earth is not complete. So oceanography. Then where are the soils we have? Biological things. So where are the soils you have? Then where do you find polar bear? Definitely in the polar areas. Where do you find snow leopard? Where do you find tiger? Where do you find Asiatic lion? Where do you find Asiatic lion, by the way? A lion, I think we all know lion, no? Right? Then where do you find it in the world? Majorly, lion means where do you find? Of course. In which continent? Asia. Then you're not you didn't observe the movies like Disneyland. What is that movie? The Lion, Simba, and all those persons. Lion King. It is Africa. Wildlife is not complete. So you are not a wildlife you are not fond of wildlife. If anybody is fond of wildlife, immediately as soon as it clicks, you'll get the word called Africa. So Africa is the place where you find lions. And Asiatic lions are very rare. They are only found in one place in entire Asia. It is the Gir forest of India. The Gir forest of India, where you find the Gir lions, the Asiatic lions. These are not just the lions found only in India, but also found only in Asia. Right, so you have find only one place. Imagine your childhood, no? Imagine your knowledge until now. If you heard the word lion, where did you see in the pictures in National Geographic Channel or Discovery Channel? Except in the zoos which are nearby your cities, or else you always find in the African continent. That is where you have seen lions. Okay, anyhow, fine. It's all right. We'll get to know about these things later. So, the distribution of plants and animals, biogeography, where animals are located, where plants are located, just to have a fair idea. It's not asking about every animal on the planet Earth, where are they distributed. No, that is not our objective. I'll give you one fair example, small example. You will understand what is the study of geography and how it is different. So, I was discussing one with my colleague, one of the cousins. So, her friends, some of them went to a place in South America, where a prominent place, it could be, they went there. Okay, they are going there, traveling here and there and all the, such kind of things, no? So, when people go to a foreign country and visit a certain thing as part of tourism, we will glorify in our common society parlance. The same thing happened here. They said they are going here. Everybody was surprised, oh, they are going here and all. I asked where it is. The reply which I got was, you are a geography student, no? I heard you are also a geography faculty. Don't you know about this place? What are you teaching them? That was the common question which I got. Common word lo, geography cheptanantunnao, ideni asalu nu em cheptunnavu class lo. That's what the question was. Then what should I answer? For a brief while, I have 1 second, I took a break. Then the sarcasm in me came out. Okay, it took over. Then I told them, I'm a faculty of geography. I'm not a receptionist at a tourism center. I'm not a receptionist at a tourism center where I explain all about all the places. I'm a faculty of geography where I teach certain concepts. In the process, I may know about certain places, but not about everything. So, technically everything on the earth is all about study of places is geography. That's what the common you associate with geography, and that we cannot do. But we will try to know about some things. Our understanding why Mount Everest is the highest point we have to know, that is the basic thing. It doesn't mean that everything on the earth's surface we have to know. Right? We can differentiate. Right. So, that is the case. Then environmental geography nowadays, with all the focus on environment, how we are treating, how destruction we are doing of the things, how it has evolved, all those kind of things is section A. In other words, this is the physical geography. Right. Now, the same paper 1, section B, we have different things. So, same, another 5 units, 10 units total. First one is perspectives. I think this we have to make them change. Okay. Perspectives in human geography. So, this is now the other aspects. Perspectives in human geography. So, what do you mean by perspectives is opinions. So, somebody said what is geography is, somebody said geography about climate, geography about rocks, somebody said that. And as you study, somebody said soils here, right, soils. And if you dig deeper, you will also see study of population, study of say agriculture, which crops are grown in which places, study of minerals, which mineral is available in which part of the world. Yes, right? So in that way, there is a human aspect as well. So there is also another thing called political geography. So for example, if there is a river, Brahmaputra river is originating from China, Tibet province, and then flows into India and then into Bangladesh. We might have heard this word already, that China is building big dams, we'll have water problems later on and all these things. Then we would have also heard from Bangladesh, India is building big dams, that kind of things. But there are certain rules of how you have to create certain order in terms of riparian states. These are all called riparian states, where a river flows. So how there is always a tussle between upper riparian states and lower riparian states, because lower riparian states are always at the mercy of the upper ones. So, for example, the Godavari river, the conflict of Godavari river is always between Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh back then. Now with Telangana state formation, definitely in future with Kaleshwaram project prominence and all these kind of things, now will comes the order of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana also will get some kind of disputes, because now it is most political geography. Geography doesn't have boundary, you created a boundary, no? River doesn't create a boundary. So what plannings and all this, that is political aspects. In that way, the way you study geography is multiple varieties. That's what you call perspectives. Is geography a science? Is geography a art? Is geography is physical geography? Is geography human geography? What is it is? That perspectives is human geography. For example, everybody as a person, for example, you go to, now imagine you have lived in Hyderabad since your childhood. You haven't went away from Hyderabad at all. Your boundary is Hyderabad GHMC. Outer Ring Road is your farthest point. Okay, imagine so. There is nothing wrong in imagination, right? So if that is the case, you haven't seen an earthquake, you haven't seen a cyclone, you haven't seen a, what you say, tsunami. Of course, tsunami is not like everybody will see. That is once in a lifetime lifetime event that you can see. So floods, we have seen it, of course, obviously. Floods, in fact, we live there. Okay, as soon as monsoon comes, every 1 month or every 15 days in 1 year, I think we should also have a boat to go in the cities like Hyderabad. So such kind of things are common, but earthquake is not a common thing. Imagine you are from Japan. Okay. If you are from Japan and all, if the building is moving, oh, earthquake, okay. No, they also will run away. Every human nature will run away, but they are quite associated with it. I have heard this word, earthquakes won't kill people, but buildings do. It's not the earthquake in alone it kill people, but the mannerism of your building construction will kill it. So an earthquake of similar intensity, say 8, which is a very dangerous one, Richter scale, very dangerous earthquake, Richter scale, it will cause maximum destruction in Indian subcontinent when compared with Japan, because Japan is well prepared, India is not so prepared. This is the impact on a country, whereas the perspective, what is an earthquake, how do you treat in your brain and how a person treats from Japan, is that a variation? So that is the perspectives. Are you able to understand this idea? So in that way, how the subject has there, what is the difference, all those kind of things you study, what you call it as perspectives in human geography. Have you understood this word? Right. So in this is one aspect which you can say so. There are many things, I can tell you so many things, this is one thing. Then you have something called economic geography, the distribution of mineral resources, industries, trade, transport, all these kind of things. Economic geography, the distribution of trade, transport, why industries are located here, why development is happening mostly in the coastal areas. Now you tell me which are the most developed states of India. Now don't ask me what is development. That is another dimension where you can discuss multiple varieties. Generally, as a common thing, we always associate with GDP, though it has its own negative concerns and all those kind of things. So which states are most prosperous? Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. Kerala is more social. But generally, if you see from GDP, from the growth, ports, all these kind of things, it will be Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal. Why? Port cities. ports. Interiors will have less dimensions. Ports are the gateway centers to the world. You will get more trade, you will get more economic prospects, and that way you will see growth like it is same for every part of the world. If you take China, the eastern China, which is towards the coastal regions of South China Sea, say the Shanghai region, the Beijing region and all, definitely you will have more development. Whereas in the interior China, relatively there is also backwardness. Same is true with even Europe. Western European nations are much more prosperous than Eastern European nations. So it's a general balance. It's not saying this is the only thing, but this is general thing for sure. Are you able to get that? Right? So this is nothing but study of minerals in industries, how there is a development, how there is a variation. Economic geography. Then population and settlements. Now, if I ask you to stay in a desert, will you stay? If I say that I will give you a good package, okay, so you are one of the worthy person of the world, we need your valuable resource as a valuable resource in our institution to flourish, and we'll ask you to give a good package, and I'll ask you to stay in the Thar desert of Rajasthan. Will you stay now? I'll increase my pay. Will you stay? You might. It depends on the package, right? So in other words, it depends on the mineral resource. Now, how do Dubai has got such a huge big city developed? It is a desert. It was a desert. It is a desert. It is a desert now. It was a desert in the past. But you see how it has grown like anything. Why? Oil. The resources. That has made the people to settle there, because that's where people are living now, because that's an economic opportunity. So population is a product of not just about the favorable climate, but also about the resources and how do they provide the economic opportunities. Fair enough? Have you accepted it? So there will be people who are not willing to go to desert despite a good package, and there will be people who will go to a desert with a good package. No? Right? So that's what they are doing, no? Dubai. Oil will anyhow go away after a few years. Once if oil is lost, what is the world will do? What do Dubai will do? They have changed their thought process. They are building IT. They are building about technology. They are building about knowledge, every aspect. Nowadays, it is more knowledge, less about the actual resource. It's the mind. Okay. So it's, for example, if I get a good football, the size of a football, I will give you a gold ball. What will you do? We all know how to use it then, right? It's a gold ball. It's a valuable resource. We will do whatever the needs are there according to us. If I give the same thing to say a monkey, what will it do? It will start playing with the gold ball, right? So the growth of a region is dependent on what? How understanding you have with respect to a resource. That will determine how are you using the economic prospects and how there is a population growth in certain region, and that will determine what kind of settlement you have. Settlement means what? Not the mafia settlement, it's a place. Okay, settlement here in the sense is a place where you are living. So it could be a small hamlet like a village, or it could be a big city, and you might have heard this word metropolitan, cosmopolitan. Okay, cosmopolitan is a normal cliche word, or else metropolitan, conurbation, megalopolis. If you go to New York, it's a very big city. It's not New York is a big one. Okay, so there are megalopolis which are a combination of cities, and there are big cities as well. So metropolitan is one, megalopolis is one. Imagine Pune, Ahmedabad. From Pune to Ahmedabad, you have a continuous stretch of urbanization. That is megalopolis. Now you have only metropolitans in India, like Hyderabad, like Mumbai, like Delhi, like Pune, like these cities. But megalopolis is a stretch, continuous stretch from Pune to Ahmedabad. So such kind of variations is what you call settlements. That will be studying. Then you have regional planning. how you have to plan for a region, which region you have to plan, which area you have, how planning for, say, imagine you are the chief economic advisor or the chief advisor for a government of Telangana, and imagine you are the chief economic advisor for, say, Uttarakhand. How do you plan? It's a product of what resources you have, what kind of economic opportunities you can bring, what kind of people you have, what kind of skills do they possess. Based on that, you can plan for a certain industry, you can ask them. It is not like just because Hyderabad is free from earthquakes, Hyderabad is free from cyclones, every person, hey, Hyderabad no earthquakes, let us go and build an industry there. They will have one of a criteria, but that is not an advantage. It is like if you are choosing Hyderabad, you will get this advantage, but this is not the advantage to use it. The major attraction point will be infrastructure, the major attraction point could be the skills. For example, imagine how many aircrafts, mostly when you talk about aircraft industry, there is Boeing and there is Airbus. And if I wanted to start if I have so many crores of money with me, I am the CEO and I wanted to start a new industry, can I start in Hyderabad? I can start provided if I have the skills. Do you have enough aeronautical engineering students where I can get the best talent? As of now, the best talent of the world is moving across to countries of USA, France and all the Western European nations. Hence, you find the biggest industries there or the most valuable resource there. Over a period of time, as it changes, definitely you can have it. It's not like if an aircraft industry, if I start in somewhere in Africa, a country by name Sierra Leone, where except a few people who know this many of you might not be aware that there is a country called Sierra Leone. Or if I take another country by name Burkina Faso, many of you might not have heard this country itself, that this is the country which is existing. With due respect to the country, we are not criticizing anybody here or not giving any kind of disrespect, but I can say so that definitely I cannot start a big industry like aircraft industry in such places or which people I cannot attract it. Fair enough? Yes or no? So it's a product of what? It's a product of agriculture, it's a product of industries, it's a product of many things. So there is multiple perspectives. How are you planning a region? How are you developing a region? Multiple differences. Now if you see United Andhra Pradesh, what was one of the cause for the conflict between Andhra Pradesh and Telangana? City of Hyderabad. Who will get Hyderabad? Okay, that is the reason why those days, see, as part of when emotion is high, there is no logic. Don't ask me the logic behind it, but emotion works. So Andhra Bank, people as part of the war, Telangana and agitations and all, they went to every Andhra Bank and started disnaming it as Telangana Bank. Right. So what is the major tug of war with Andhra Pradesh and Telangana was city of Hyderabad? Because every region needs a big city to get revenue, to get opportunities. The government needs revenue, the people need opportunities. If you see the big cities, big states of India which are developed, every region has one big city. Those are the ones which are developed. So when the debate about capitals of Andhra Pradesh, which one has to be a capital and all those kind of things is running, okay, somebody said, look at South Africa model and all these kind of things. But what actually the people need is for sure one big city which can act as an attracting agent of people, skills, technology, industries, money, everything. Am I right? So that is what is called regional planning. We'll study about those things. And when you are discussing about so many varieties, you also have so many models and theories saying that this is how you grow, this is how it has to grow, this is how it is happening. So there are some concepts of some kind of theories. We also have theories. Okay, we also have our own Newton. Okay, so in just like how science has many theories, geography also has so many theories, not so many, few, which are easy to understand. So this is the syllabus. Welcome to geography now. So from the words of geography means climate, geography means winds, geography means rocks, look at the dimensions. Fair enough? Are you getting some idea about the syllabus now? Right? So this is the paper 1. By the way, we haven't discussed paper 2. This is the physical geography of This is the physical, and this is what you call physical geography. This is what is called as human geography. This is more science. This is more art. Hence, it is both common for people from arts background and people from science background. Geography is one of the, when you see about variability, or when you see it about as a common parlance, for example, an engineering student sees a certain thing in a different way, whereas an art student sees a certain thing in a very different way. Geography is attracting both because it has multiple dimensions. Okay, so maybe a human background student or an arts background student will have difficulty in understanding certain concepts of geomorphology or certain kind of things where there is more science, less about things. Otherwise, everything is more arts. Are you able to get this point? So why geography remains one of the most choosing optional among the entire people of the UPSC preparation is it is able to attract multiple nature of the background. See, usually as a common person, I would also suggest that don't ignore your background until now if you are good at it. If you are good at it. That if is very important. Okay. So it's not like if you have taken civil engineering, tomorrow take civil engineering, or if you are having a medical science, tomorrow you take medical science as an optional. If you are good at it, then you can only have to choose it. Your interest will come in, beyond interest there is no other thing which you can take. So this is one aspect of section. Now let's discuss paper 2. This you can run forward very quickly because I need not explain everything, because it is just the same concepts which you have discussed in paper 1 section A and section B you are applying in non-India. Okay. So paper 2. $250 marks. You don't have section A, section B here, but you have 10 streams. So total 20 units. 10 in the paper 1, 10 in paper 2. Now this is entirely Indian geography. Physical setting of India. Where is India located? What are India's physical features? What is the climate of India? So entire section A is clubbed into, apply it on India, you will get 1 unit. What are the soils? What are the forests of India? What is the wildlife? Every paper, every part of section A, apply it on India, you will get this physical setting of India. Okay, so we will study in detail. Now, geography is, I will ask you one thing. Himalayas. I think geography is there for every kind of exam as part of government exams. It is there in bank exams, of course, though as a very tiny thing as part of general studies or general awareness. They might ask you, which are the states having a boundary with Pakistan? Definitely that question can be asked even in UPSC, but more than that they will ask the analytical ability of how geography is facilitating cross-border terrorism. Because of the rugged terrain and the topography of Himalayas where it is difficult to see the people, it is facilitating the cross-border terrorism very easily. Imagine they coming from Rajasthan. Where do the terrorists or the cross-border terrorism happen from Pakistan? Is it from Rajasthan? Imagine they are coming from, asking to come from a desert. Is it possible? It is possible. As long as you are motivated, it is possible. The chances are very difficult. Can I say this? Chances are very difficult. The same things applies. So we will understand that kind of a concept along with the physical setting of where are Himalayas. I will ask you one question. If Himalayas are located to the north, why they are located north? Why not east? Why not south? Why not west? What is the dimension? Why Himalayas itself are biggest points on the earth's surface? Why not Western Ghats? Why not Andes mountains? Why not Rockies mountains? Are you able to ask, get my questions? No? So such things we will study as part of geomorphology, physical setting, the relationship. So the entire physical geography clubbed it here. Then we have resources. What resources you have? The minerals, the forests, all those kind of resources, we will study about that. Then how these resources are carried forward with different economic activities. Agriculture, industry, trade, transport, and all these things. Trade, transport, and all these things. Then, I hope you got this, right? So, you see, agriculture, industries, where industries are located here. If why pharmaceutical industries are at one place, why iron and steel industry are located at one place, where are they located? What is the aspect to it? Such kind of things. Agriculture, industry, this is industry. Similarly, agriculture. Why cotton is grown in a certain region? What is the cropping pattern different from India, South India from North India? What is the base? How do they identify? In which areas you have green revolution successful, in which areas it is not successful? Such kind of studies. Right? This is about the paper 2. I think trade, transport, communications, you have understood this. How is the trade happening between India and the USA? How is the trade happening between those things? Just which kind of industries through which trade is happening, which kind of agriculture trade is happening, which resources trade is happening. It is more interlinkage. Can I say so? Right? This is about the things. The same if you start applying. 6th one, cultural setting. This is nothing the cultural setting, it means cultural settings okay, so it is for the population aspects, the population aspects, all these kind of things which we will be discussing. Then settlements, I mean cultural means which kind of tribes are located where, which kind of people are located in which kind of, what is the race among, we will have different races, the races which we will be studying about those things, how are they distributed and all these kind of things. Then the distribution of population here in cultural. Then settlements is all about the places, rural areas, the cities, how the problems of cities, all those kind of things. Then you have something called political geography. Then you have regional development and planning. Then you have contemporary issues. This is more current affairs. So what is this cultural settings, population and all which you have studied there, you will apply it on India. Similarly, settlements, the kind of urban areas, rural areas, how there is a variation, how the cities are growing, what kind of urbanization does India has? Is it very well distributed towns and cities, or is it only big cities and small towns? How is the difference? Such kind of things, whether for the world and also for India, world there, India here. Similarly, political geography, the political aspects, okay, which regions are having more capacity, such kind of things we will study. The regional development which you have studied there as part of ideas there, you will apply it on India, regional development and planning. The same things of the world, you will apply it on India. So in other words, can we see there is a correlance with this topic with that? Common, right? Contemporary issues, floods, droughts, earthquakes, any kind of contemporary thing which is running, they might ask you here. This is more current affairs. Now you see, human geography, apart from this, the entire, say not 10 units, maybe 9 units or 9.5 is more about human geography. In other words, the physical geography is just 15% in paper 2, where it is around 80 to 90% in paper. Human geography is this much, physical geography is this much in paper 2. Common parlance, what is geography? Now tell me what is geography. Now you got the idea what is geography. Most of the time you almost associate geography means mountains, plateaus, plains or climate and all, or places and all. Look at the dimension. That's why there is a person by name Humboldt. He regarded geography is the universe. He regarded that after a certain period of time, geography will be the mother of all subjects, or rather a universal subject. his thought process was in that way. That's why he developed a book called Cosmos. Cosmos is the big where everything lives. In that way, he developed a book called Cosmos, indicating about the same idea. Have you understood this now? So usually, if you are good at human geography, you can have good prospects in these things. Of course, it is not like you have to good at certain things and you are ignored. You will be asked. There are also compulsory questions which you have to attempt in each section. So if there is compulsory question, definitely you cannot ignore every aspect. This is the challenge you have. I think you got a fair idea, right? So this is the syllabus of geography. Now how geography as an optional is good for you or bad for you, let us have a fair idea. I am not here to, definitely there is one kind of a marketing aspect. If I am a geography optional faculty, I would definitely ask you to come here. I would definitely ask you to do geography optional. You are not favoring me. Of course, sorry, in the sense you are favoring me, but it doesn't mean that you have to favor me. It is you, your interest, your thought process, your life, your exam, your growth is what matters here. So we'll give you a fair idea and then you decide what does it suits or doesn't suits. Okay. Usually when I talk about these kind of things, the common questions I come from students is always, everyone, even I also have started in the same way. Everyone starts with the same way. Sir, is it easy? First question. Second question, is it scoring? Third question, can I do it? Okay. Then fourth question, what could be? Maybe after your interaction I'll get my thought. Presently I'm not getting that word. So usual questions which I get is it easy? The first thing, if you are asking or if you are attempting to thinking that something would be easy, you are very much in a wrong place. Unfortunately, you should not be here. So get this thing cleared in your brains that there is nothing called easy in this exam. Okay, there is nothing. This is rule number 1. There is also rule number 2, the same rule number 1. Okay, so there is nothing called easy in this exam. If you have the thought process, get it away from your brain on day 1 so that the remaining process is smoother. You know the road which you are going. Okay, I think in Netflix you have this thing, no, surprise me. Okay, don't go for such things in this exam. Okay, you don't want any surprises. Exam itself is having good surprises for you. Okay, it has planned all stages. You don't plan any surprises. You should be knowing what you are doing. Okay, so in that way, so it is easy? No, it is not. This exam itself is not easy. Forget about the optional. Every subject has its own advantages, own disadvantages for sure. Then is it scoring? The questions which are looking like almost, I think when I use this word, is it easy, is it scoring, can I do it? I think when I am saying that word, what is the thought process you got in your brain? Many of you have decided, these are the questions, I have to get it. What's wrong in it? That's what your mentality? Yes or no? Right? These are the questions one gets usually. But often after a certain while, you will understand how lame such questions are. After a certain while. Definitely you have to ask today, no doubt. I am not disagreeing with that. I am just disagreeing that after a period of time, how lame such things will be there, you will understand. So when you see it from the optional point of view, when it is easy, when it is scoring, it is scoring. So usually, I think how many marks you have total in the mains? So 1000 marks, GS into 4, optional, 2 papers, 500 marks, essay, 250 marks. So this is your mains. Of course, you have your language paper and English paper as a compulsory thing which is not part of it. That is one aspect. Then you have your interview constituting around 275, total 2025 marks. Right. Now, how many marks are you supposed to get? Definitely, you know, half is your rank 1. Okay, not like your traditional. Okay, so if you go to the common parlance in the market, rank 1, rank 2, 600 ki 600 వచ్చాయి. Okay, so the common thing 600 ki 595 వస్తే మిగిలిన వాళ్ళు ఇంకా 5 మార్కులు ఏమయ్యాయి. Okay, not such kind of things here. Definitely you'll have to have most 50% is sufficient. So as an optional, what is the score you can expect when you get, the idea should be you have to get good marks, which is not scoring, every paper is scoring. You have to get around, if you want to do in the top 20 of the entire country, you should get the score around 270 to 280. If you are lucky, and the whole world is here to make you an IAS officer, which occasionally it can be, though you are not so lucky most of them, then you can even achieve 310 to 320. This is Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli scores. Okay, this is a common person who can cross Ranji Trophy and enter into India's team. The top 50 team nowadays, if you can see the people, there are almost 50 players who are playing for the country now. Not just 11 players, because every day there is a match. Every day there is a match, they are not robots. So definitely they are preparing around 50 players. You have to be here. If you happen to be here, very good. If anybody is saying that 300 and 320 is scoreable in geography by everyone, then they are marketing their product. Any optional, not just only geography. Any optional, if anybody said 300 is the one you are getting, they are marketing their product. They are expecting you to be Virat Kohli's. They are expecting you to be the next. Don't tell me that, by the way, Virat Kohli is in poor form. He is not. No, those kind of things. Any anti-Kohli fans here, please don't go there. I am just giving you the ones which are known for that. Now, the moment when I say cricket, the person who doesn't watch cricket also who knows the names. That's what I am talking about. I am not asking about the new kids who are coming like Arshdeep Singh or Deepak Huda, all those kind of things. No. I think you got the differentiation. You can expect 270 to 280 for sure, or rather you have to target it and prepare well. This is what you have to score. And how to choose an optional? One of the things for scoring what you can do is go and check the top 20 ranks. Check in 2021 who has got the top 20 ranks. 2019, check in who got the top 20 ranks. What is their optional? What is their score? The data is clearly available in the market as you type in Google. If you want, I will give you a number, I will search and give it to you. That also I can do it. You will have a fair opinion that it is well distributed in all the options. It is not that geography is one of the options. It is very well distributed. Then comes the success ratio from this optional. If you see the success ratio, how many jobs you have? This should be the score you have to aim. Which subject? Not geography. Any optional. Can geography score here? Yes. Nowadays people are also crossing 300 plus. There are also phases in geography optional as well. 2000 to 2010 was one of the golden period, was what was regarded as. Of course, we are not bothered anyhow. We are not discussing the history of geography scoring and all, but generally it was regarded that geography was a very good scoring subject in the years of 2000 to 2010. But over a period of time, what happened was, the nature of the questions, if you observe there, are very simple. You are not asked to prepare more than 7-8 questions in an exam. I mean, you are supposed to write not more than 7-8. Such simple questions, such straightforward questions. Only 7-8 questions you have to write. Now it is 19 questions. So the nature of the exam has completely changed. So UPSC has, once you go to Labasna, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, you will also be evaluated there. So the feedback which was got from 2000 to 2008, that you are giving very students who are very much, who have by-hearted and all those kind of things, it is very difficult for us to train. That was the impression which was given by the feedback. By the people who are training the people from the persons who got into IAS, that was the feedback given by the government from the Labasna Academy. Then UPSC changed the nature from then. Then came the multiple dimensions. So it was before and after, never before. So the things have changed to that extent later on. Now it is more analytical, more objective, more kind of things. So then came the different kind of era. In the process, there might be a few years which was very lame. The questions are very ridiculous. There are certain kind of questions where in 1 year in 2014 or 15 where there is one question where the question number 1 is so difficult that the mental aspects were such that everybody remembered only that question, leaving behind the remaining questions. Okay, not there was one student who got rank 8 into that year, rank 8, and Ananya, her name is Ananya if I am not wrong, Ananya Pandey or something like that. I forgot, but I remember her face. So when she has cleared this exam in that year, what she said was, she got All India rank 8 with geography number 1. Geography number 1 ranker of that year. Then what she said was, now normally after the exam, there is a craze, you will be almost like a, what do you say, celebrity, something like that, what and all. So there are craze, there is a meeting, there are so many students who came. When they met, everyone asked them, one first question what they asked was, Madam, what did you write about that question number 1? That was the common question. Her answer was epic. I still don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is. So she did not attempt that question. She left it completely. She is good at remaining things, which are quite easy. But human parlance remembers only that question, that year, that topic, that thing. Such kind of things are very common. So 2013 to 2017, that was a very tipsy-topsy curve for geography optional students, which is I am giving you an honest feedback. Okay, I was unfortunately part of that era. I have written 2 mains then. I know the pain there. Okay, then from 2019 onwards, the questions have become much smoother, much straightforward, much easier. So there is a myth, in the exam that UPSC targets one optional. They say sometimes, if you ask any senior, they will say this word, UPSC targets one optional. Nobody targets any optional. It might be 1 year, maybe the person who is the head of the exam might be very much fond of geomorphology, or maybe he might have given the most difficult questions out of that. That can happen. But UPSC, चलो इस साल टारगेट करते हैं ज्योग्राफी को, tomorrow I'll target anthropology, next year I'll target sociology. No, that won't happen. This you get this, nobody targets. But nowadays, last 2-3 years, one of the things which people, geography, I think if I am from a marketing industry, then I'll get a new energy. Hey, geography optional is back with good scores, now you can market. Nowadays, the scores are quite high. That's what I wanted to tell you. It was very bad, and you can check it. See, if you want, I can get you a data. That is one variety. Okay, so that is a good thing. Nowadays, scoring of 270, 280 can be very much happening. Then next thing, success ratio. How many jobs you have in a year? Imagine 800 to 1000 are there. No, for easy calculation, for now I will take 1000. Okay, it could be 800 as well. Well, let us take 1000. If 1000 are there, 1000 jobs, in prelims, how many people, by the way, will apply for this exam? Huh? Yes?
5 to 6 lakhs.
10 lakhs people will apply for this exam. Okay, out of 10,000 seats, the applications will be 10 lakhs. Out of these applications, the number of people who will attempt prelims will be 5 lakhs. Baki 5 lakhs, that year they won't attempt. This is the general trend. You will attempt because only 100 rupees or 150, whatever it is, and later on the nature of your preparation or the circumstances in what is the person is there or what other kind of things, half of the people won't even attempt. Out of these 5 people also, I think when I say these kind of things, my mind will go to that typical, common comedy, Ravi Tejas movie, Balaraju, Emra Upyogam Desaniki, Chandrababu Naidu, and the comedy scene untadi. I used to get that picture whenever I see, because by the end of the time I will come to this 1,000 people. So okay, so there are so much population in India, everybody is doing this much people, finally left 5 people, that was the comedy there. There are 3 people who are having a discussion, and Chandrababu Naidu, and then he was the Chief Minister, and then then Prime Minister, Atal Bihari, you are CM and all also working, and what are you doing? That was a comedy thing. So that's what I get this whenever I explain. So you have around 5 lakhs people who are attempting. Baki 5 lakhs people, they thought they can attempt. They are not it. Then out of this 5 lakhs, the serious aspirants will be around 50 to 1 lakh per year. The remaining 4 lakhs are, let me go and check how is the paper. Let me go and check how is the OMR sheet quality. Okay, let me go and check is the OMR sheet good enough, what is the quality of the paper, what is the size of the paper, who is beside me. Okay, I'm just giving a sarcastic view. I'm just saying that they are of the thought process that let me go and get one experience of the exam which I hate it. So I'm a bit sarcastic person. I give sarcasm, but at the same time I respect every person. Don't worry, you will come to know. It is not like only sarcasm is what I am dominated by. Definitely it is part of me. This I can say. So many of the people, what do they do is they go and attempt this exam just to observe and they get the trend. No, please don't do such kind of things. It is unnecessary a failure. Unfortunately, you have to get an experience, or if you are not clearing. But when you attempt an exam, I expect every one of you to clear it. Your process of preparation should be of that level. This is what my ambition is. I think you got the difference, no? Some of the people, what do they do is they apply for this exam and they wanted to see how it is. Many of us in the friends, parents and also they also do. Anni exams government job lu idi kuda rastaru. Then they will ask about one kind of a river in Africa. Okay, when they ask one kind of a question of river in Africa, then the common person, that person will say that there is no idea about rivers in India itself. Now this exam is being asked about rivers of Africa. What should I do? Such kind of things will come. Yes, it is true. In fact, everyone will go through such kind of things. Nobody is expecting you to learn about Africa because he remembers only that question, leaving behind the remaining questions. Okay, so that is one variety. So these people 4 lakhs are also not there. So there are only 50 to 1 lakh students, 50,000 to 1 lakh. Roughly, how much you can say? 75,000 students who are prepared well for this exam. This is the competition. You might not be there in first year here, you might be there in the second year, something like that, whatever. Okay. Then out of the 75,000 students, for the 1,000 jobs, they used to recruit in 12 ratio, 1:12 ratio. For every one job, they will recruit 12 people for mains. Mains. They will select, not recruit, they will select. So how many people are writing mains? 12,000. Out of this 12,000 students, 2,500 people will be selected for interview. And out of this 2,500, you have to be in the 1,000 as part of the ratio. There will be 100 more people as part of the reserve list, because somebody might have already got some other exam in the past and then they are writing again, or else somebody don't wanted to join that service, or with certain reasons they are unable to come. They will always have a reserve list in case. Are you get the difference, no? So this is the things. Out of this 12,000 people, the number of people who choose geography in mains as an optional, who write as per the latest data, you have the range is around 1,800 to 2,000. The range. Okay. Then in geography, the success ratio would come across somewhere around 5 to 6%. Maybe 5.5 to 6. Ante 2000 lo 10% means 200. So 6% may be around 120 students who have qualified in the entire exam, they can have geography. Then if you take the most extreme, medical science, the number of students who attempt medical science, who took medical science and rating mains will be somewhere around 250, and they have the success ratio maybe around 10%. So it would be around 20 students to 25 students, and the success ratio is now 10%. So usually you cannot say that medical science has a high success ratio than optional geography, because obviously x by y is much higher here, y is much lower there. You got this parallels? Yes or no? Right? In that way, when you go about every optional, you will see that geography, geography is one of the most popular optional for sure, because almost 2000 people are writing it, 1800 to 2000. So which subjects are having most common parlance based on these things would be geography, anthropology, nowadays anthropology, otherwise geography, and over a period of time if you see it, geography has the highest variable, or it is highly predictable. You know the range, it is not a wild card. Okay, I think if you are fond of certain games and all, so for example, if Virat Kohli is playing cricket, you know not the present Virat Kohli, a general, when he is a stable person, when he is in good form and all. As a cricket team, there will always expect a person like Rahul Dravid or Virat Kohli who will act like a, what do you say, something like a gum to the cricket team, and there will be players like Virender Sehwag or Rishabh Pant who will give you scores of either extreme scores of 0 or else 100 plus. So that's why when Rishabh Pant plays these days, both the teams, both the dressing rooms will be having fear. Either he will succeed or he will fail. So that's, but he's a good player, but nevertheless, I think you understood the wild card, no? So it is not like a wild card. Geography has some kind of predictability. Some kind of predictability. Whereas other optionals, you might have some kind of unpredictability, especially essay. Of course, I am not talking about essay here. Essay, you can get as low a score of 50, you can get as good as 150. Geography optional, not like that. You can have some kind of a predictability, right? Then from these things, the common optionals which are very popular and all things are geography, political science, sociology, geography, political science, sociology, of late even history, even anthropology are quite prominent. This is what which are the prominent ones. Public administration is one, that is kind of a common things. Remaining all are your interest. So these are the common subjects which are widely chosen. I think by now, except the core detailed explanation of syllabus of geography, I have not yet promoted my subject. Can I say so? So I gave you a fair idea of which optional stands where. So these are the common subjects which are there, and among these kind of things, if you took geography, see what are the things you have to take things into criteria. One is your interest. Your interest has to be very much clear. That has to determine how you have to choose an optional. So you take 15 days, take 20 days. Nobody asking you to master for 6 months and choose interest. And then you will take 1 year for choosing only. Each optional takes almost around 4 to 5 months. Then it will take 1 year for choosing only. So go for the basic level. NCERTs. Read. You will understand certain things. Now, basically, while I was choosing geography as an optional, I loved geography because of simple reason that I am very much fond of it. That is the only reason. Otherwise, I am good at economics, I am good at mathematics. 15 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay. So I am good at geography and all these kind of things. So why I have chosen geography was the basic reason was I am good at it in the sense I am fascinated by cricket in my childhood. So one question which I got was why cricket is played in Australia at the time of December, January, why cricket is played in England at the time of September, June, July, August, September, and why cricket is played in England when the match starts at 5:30 in the evening, whereas for Australia it starts at 5:30 in the morning. Such questions were fascinated in my brain in the earlier days, and that is how I have landed into here. Okay, so the path was this much. So basically the interest. So you should have some interest which brings the familiarity and the curiosity to sustain. Then you go by it, you will get to know it. So how to prepare that interest? Go and check NCERT's 6th to 10th class of the respective optionals which you wanted to see. If you go to an anthropology faculty, he will give you what to read as a basic thing. Learn, see, then previous year questions. So basically NCERT's plus previous year questions is what you are supposed to do. Previous year questions, once you read it, trust me, you will not understand anything. Then basically that is not a criteria, but just to observe. Then you will get to know some kind of a thing. After that, then one of the most thing about geography is overlap. GS as part of your mains, it is covering about geography GS paper 1. It covers almost 100 marks, 8 questions. 100 marks in your GS optional, in your general studies paper 1, and in your GS 3, where you have agriculture, cropping patterns, the economics, the environmental management, disaster management and all, you will get around 80 marks there. And even in GS paper 2, certain kind of relationship may be 20, not more than 20 to 30 marks. So roughly you will have around 180 to 200 marks. See, I have given you total is almost 210, but the range I am giving you is 180 to 200 marks, where you have a common parlance with the GS. So overlap is quite high in your paper. Essay, there used to be also essay, but nowadays essay has become more abstract and more philosophical than no. Now I cannot claim completely. Okay. Then even for your prelims, geography, until now, except this year, the prelims which was recently conducted, the number of questions were always around 6 to 8 in prelims. This year, the number of questions are 13 questions. And environment, which is a base, this you can get at least around 15 to 20 questions on an average. This trend is there for last 10 years. Geography was less, environment was high for your prelims. This is the trend. I think you are getting this picture now. So it is used to be 6 and 8. This year it is 13 questions. So I will have this parlance. There is an trend, there is an observation. So this is an observation. If it maintains, then this becomes a trend. Then over a period of time it becomes a characteristic feature. So nowadays this exam has a characteristic feature of having more questions on environment, not even a trend. You got the difference? The 3 points: observation, trend, characteristic feature. Okay, so this is the thing. So then this is the overlap. Then even for economy, if you talk about indirectly, there might be around 5 questions, or rather say 2 to 3 questions. So in overall you can say around 28 to 30 questions in your prelims, there is a high overlap. There is a high overlap. Okay, so you are almost getting around 200 marks of overlap with mains. This is the main advantage you have. The disadvantage is vastness of the subject. Vastness. It takes normally a 20 days extra when compared with other optionals for teaching. It takes 1-2 months extra when compared with other optionals for you to buy, for you to prepare. Okay, so this is the understanding. Okay, have you got the idea? Overlap. Then one of the advantage, if you are good at say analytical ability, if you are good at say after analytical ability, if you are good at say what do you say, interrelated or interrelations, composing work, interlinking one subject with another subject. So what is called is interlinking. Interrelations, interlinking. So analytical ability and interlinking. If you are good at analytical ability and if you are having the nature of interlinking, you have to choose this subject. You can choose this subject. There is no you have to. Okay, you can choose this subject. This is the one advantage you can have over others. As a person, if you are having good analytical skills, good interlinking skills of linking one with other and other, then you can talk about these things. Are you able to understand this point? So basically it is not much of facts. There are facts, there is data, there is dumping, no doubt, that is there with every optional, but those are supporting with the interrelateds. And if you see the topics you have, it is mostly associated with development, agriculture, industries, trade, transport, okay, population, tribes. So it is in tune with the UPSC requirements as well. That is the reason why it was optional, which is a very, very popular one. I am telling you the why it is popular, I am telling you the history. So what I wanted to debunk the myths are, Is it not scoring? It is scoring only if you have the interest. It is not scoring for everyone. It is scoring. Whether it is scoring to you or not, I don't know. You got the fair assessment here. It is scoring. It is not even. The only thing which you can cover it is overlap with GS is the advantage, and another advantage you have is current affairs. GS is not complete with current affairs. 50% is current affairs. Similarly, even optional of geography is also having 40 to 50% of the questions are asked from current affairs last 1-2 years. So current affairs nature is also very, very important. It used to be 70% static, 80% static, 70 to 80, 20 to 30 current affairs. Now it came down to 50-50, 50-60 either way. Have you understood this? So what are the advantages of geography optional in the sense could be overlap is one basic thing, as you can see here, overlap, or if you have a good analytical ability, if you have a good interlinking, provided you are interest. It is like going to a see, these are all remaining things are advantages, are additional points which you get. For example, if you are going to a party, okay, which dress you have to wear? There is a core dress. Once you have decided your core dress, then there are, should I wear a tie? Should I wear the cuffling? Okay, should I have which shoe to wear? Which sock should I wear? Nobody is asking about those things. Once you have decided that which dress to wear, then what are the advantages you are getting is what you are supposed to know. Okay, if you are going to a restaurant, you have to get to know what you are eating. Don't ask me which soup I have to order, okay, which ice cream I have to order, okay, or should I go by cab or should I book a auto? Not those kind of things. Once you have decided that you wanted to eat a certain thing, that is the optional, that is the core, remaining questions are unnecessary. Okay, any doubts you have? No? I will give you the core approach of and how to prepare for, I think you all have, you will be definitely getting into GS, no? So definitely I will give you an overview about how to prepare and all those things then. As of now, just I wanted to give you an optional about subject. Then how to prepare any subject of option, not just geography. Once I start the GS options, GS classes, General Studies classes, which I am going to start in this month only, at the late stages of this month, whenever the time suits, once the present things are complete, then I will start the things, then I will give you an approach about the preparation for your next 2 years. Okay, any particular questions about optional? No? Anybody who has enrolled or wanted to have a geography optional until now? No? Okay. I think you got a fair assessment, right? So do let us know whatever doubts you have, not just as geography optional, anything. Ultimately, we are here to help you to, to get your process cleared, not about choosing which optional and all. Whatever the doubts you have, if you are confused between two options and all, how to choose an optional also I have told you. Interest, then sit with it for 15 days and then we will see how it goes. Okay, it takes time. Okay, it is not an infatuation. It is almost like love marriage. Okay, so don't go by infatuations. Okay, it is almost like choosing a life partner for you. So how are you choosing? Based on that, you have to go for it. So in other words, if I wanted to end this, the better way to end this is this. How are you choosing your life partner? What criteria you take? Apply the same logic to UPSC option choosing as well. Then you will get to know about it. Because once you choose an option, you have to live with it for 2-3 years. No, there is no other way. Right? If not, just like road not taken, once again you go on there, you come back. You wanted to go to Bangalore and you have chosen Vijayawada highway. So once again you have to come back. So this is the problem. So that's ways, know about it early, 15 days take time, then you can decide. Fine? Okay. We will see you in GS and hopefully some as optional students. We will see how it goes. Right. Thank you. Hi sir. Sorry, okay.